here. Let me get my
Hey, Greg.
Game face on.
Yes.
Greg.
Yes.
Greg.
Yes.
Greg.
Yes.
The way YouTube chooses thumbnails apparently is whoever's talking at the beginning of the recording. So it's usually either myself or Phil. Phil is making noise, and I'm
Phil never shuts up, and you're actually doing your job. Yep, got it.
So I discovered that, and so I want you to like speak up when we go on the air. Allow me to use your face as a thumbnail for our podcast.
Why don't we just create a thumbnail for the podcast?
Why would I do that? Why?
Then
because
that's not a problem anymore.
Because
maybe put a modicum of effort into this. Maybe just for once.
Modicum of effort.
I mean, none of us are terribly pleasant to look at.
Amen to that.
I'm just going to delete the show outline.
I say this as one of the most self-loathing people I know. You guys are not attractive.
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you.
And I know you agree with me.
I dare say that I'm the second best looking of us, and that says something. So,
I mean, okay.
I thought I was second best.
You'll always be second best in my heart. So.
I love, by the
you.
way, so
Thank
the
you.
latest Ice Cream Social.
Yeah.
Paul
Which, by
Mattingly,
the way, I don't know if you noticed.
Now look at that. Now look at that.
Paul Mattingly had everyone try out that awful crap you're pouring into your gullet over there in Seattle.
What is this?
Yeah.
Orange vanilla Coca-Cola
That's
zero
terrible.
sugar.
It's terrible. I tried it. I did not like it.
The first response was yuck.
Yeah,
that was my first response as well.
Delicious.
And I like Coke Zero. I like Coke Zero.
It's like drinking a cola creamsicle.
No, it's not.
No.
And
it's like drinking chemicals,
which is
that
any
are
diet
slightly orange tinged.
Hate to break it to you, soda drinker.
I know.
Not exactly sipping from a mountain spring.
But I got a seltzer water.
Oh, well, there you
Cherry,
go.
don't you know?
Yeah.
That's
there
healthy.
seems to be a lot of buffering going on the feed, unless that's just me. I think my connection sucks lately.
You're buffering.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you watching the video? We're live.
I like to watch the chat.
Well, pop the chat out.
Pop the chat out.
Oh,
Pop out the chat
out.
Do some popping and locking.
The chat.
Pop it
I
out,
don't think so.
and then lock it to the corner of the screen.
Lock it to
That's
the
how you do
corner
it.
of the screen.
That's how you
Pop
do
it out and lock it to the corner of the screen.
Lock it to this corner of what screen? What? How do you what? How do I even do that?
No, I just move the chat window over to the left side of the screen.
Oh wait, I can use this to cover the Phil thumbnail. Hang on.
Yeah,
Hey,
you can
Right,
actually.
now we're good. All right.
You know what? I can just do this, and I don't have to see Greg at all.
That's right.
There you
But
go.
what? How does? Wait a minute. How does putting your thumb on your camera keep you from seeing me?
But because I'm
I don't think.
focused.
I don't think
focused
that's
on
how.
your
I don't
thumb.
think that's how the internet works.
I'm focused on watching the thumb, so
Well,
my
that doesn't
eyeball
really
doesn't go down there where you are. So
That doesn't make any sense.
it makes perfect
Phil,
sense.
I said we needed a new thumbnail, not a new thumb.
There it is.
Don't
There it is.
understand.
So from now on, CJ, every week, as soon
Every
as we
week?
start recording, I'm going to put my thumb up to my camera and just start making noise like
Put
a
my thumb up
banshee.
something.
And it's gonna be our
I
new
I have-
thumbnail.
I have two thumbs. They can be in multiple places at once.
Who's got two thumbs and won't shut up?
This guy.
Yeah.
But can you find both thumbs? They're never in the same place at once.
You.
Yikes!
Mhm. How you guys doing? Why are we doing this early? Why are we doing this on Friday?
Because CJ is important and he's going to GDC.
Oh,
going-
this is a
I'm
GDC
traveling.
thing.
Yeah,
This is a
I'm traveling on
GDC.
Sunday
I understand.
at our usual
Understand.
time.
I
I
understand.
won't be available.
Greg,
Hi.
I will have you know, my far East Coast friend, that when CJ was all like, "Ooh, can we do this on Friday?" and I said, "Yes, most assuredly." The earliest I am available to record is at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
To which CJ's immediate response was, "Well, how about we go at 7 Pacific?"
I remember.
I
And-
know.
And
Because
my
I was
thought
trying to
is,
be courteous to you and then give you. I thought you meant you get home at 6 p.m. and
well, when I
thought I'd
say
be courteous and allow you an hour to eat and
when I say the
spend
earliest
time
I'm
with the family
available
on a Friday night.
the earliest I'm available to do this does not mean an hour from when I say I
This
am
is why-
available to do this.
This is why
Okay.
Phil once a week is much better than Phil all the time. I'm just saying.
See, yeah.
Greg, I was doing
I-
this for your benefit.
Oh,
What time is it where you are, my friend?
It is 10 after 10.
Exactly.
So I guess
CJ
that
was
means we
all
better
like,
start the show. Who's
what?
delaying our start here?
let's start the well, you know what? We have another 50 minutes for when you wanted to start. So
Yeah.
Greg,
So
CJ wanted you to start at 11 p.m. Greg, you're welcome.
I'm sure he'd be fine with that.
Really?
He's
Feel
a
by the
night
time-
owl.
I feel
Well, I
by the
see
time
him
the
on the
story's
Switch
over,
playing
we're starting at
Tetris
11 p.m.
99.
anyway.
We'll ask him at
And,
1 a.m. and see what he says.
I see you playing NES games at midnight anyway.
Who, me?
Greg.
I don't play it. When I'm streaming, I play NES and playing NES games.
Yeah, and that's
At
for charity,
midnight,
you
midnight
callous
my
ass.
time.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. It's helping the kids. You
Hello and
jerk.
welcome to episode 645 of the Player One
Oh.
podcast for Tuesday, March 19th, 2019. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
It's like three bickering brothers. Like the first 5 minutes of the stream was just the three of us like arguing over stupid crap.
I know. I'll cut all of that out for the
Don't you
audio.
dare.
I have to.
But you know what? That's this week's Patreon bonus.
Yeah,
show.
that's the after. You're welcome.
Just for you. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Yeah, Washington State, not DC.
Great state of
Common-
Washington. That's what I said.
Not the great district of Columbia.
So do people in Washington D.C. can't actually vote in federal elections? Is that real? Is that true?
What?
What is?
Where you-
There's some weird thing about voting in D.C.
Oh, is this that voter suppression thing?
No, not voter suppression.
Yeah.
There's some kind of voting thing, like same with Puerto Rico, right? Like Puerto Rico can't. Do they not vote in national elections? Is that how that
Yeah.
works? Or?
Look at the two people you're asking. For
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, I know.
don't
You
know.
guys are useless, by the way.
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Just look at
Hang
it.
on. Let me go look up information about your country.
I can.
Okay.
I mean, I know where to go to vote for best Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You go to
BC residents have no representation in the United States Senate.
Wow. So do they not get taxed?
Yeah,
Because
I
there's
doubt
no-
that works that way.
No taxation without representation. I remember that from history class. That was a thing in
This is
American
enthralling.
history.
This is enthralling. This is why people come to the Player One podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's kick off some news. What do you say?
Oh.
What do you say about that?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure
It's-
people will be more enthralled by your
it's-
Sea of Thieves discussion that's incoming.
It's not getting any earlier. So it's late for Greg. Let's be courteous to our Canadian brother
Yes.
here. So Australian classification hints at possible Castlevania collection. Yes, that's
All
right.
right.
It's been rated in Australia. So there's going to be apparently we had that rumor not 1 or 2 weeks ago about a
Yeah.
Konami anniversary collection, and
Yeah.
now we're talking about a Castlevania collection.
There
My
we go.
question to you
Mhm.
is, if they do, like, what's in your quote unquote ultimate Castlevania collection?
All the Castlevanias.
Judgment?
Like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
things would you like to see that have not been re-released recently on this thing? Are we talking Rebirth?
Oh,
Well,
Rebirth that would be great, actually. Yes.
Yeah,
It'd be
that
good
actually-
timing
Can't get
for
it
that.
anywhere all right now.
Yeah,
Be really good
right.
timing.
That
Yeah.
that it was, of course, the WiiWare
Mm-hmm.
remake of the Game Boy.
No longer possible to buy
Yep.
or download.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true. Obviously, you want your NES games.
Obviously.
Well, yeah.
You would want what is it? Haunted Castle? Was that the arcade
The
game?
arcade game. Yeah.
Yeah,
And of
that
course,
would be
the
great.
the MSX Castlevania
Oh,
That'd be
right,
cool.
right.
would be
Which is
Symphony
because
of the
it's a
Night.
completely different game.
yeah, yeah. You want your
Dracula X.
Dracula X or Rondo of Blood.
See, this is kind of like
You want your Super
we're going through
Castlevania
every
4?
single Castlevania game.
Yeah,
Like,
put
this
in
is what I'm
everything.
saying.
You know what?
Everything.
Let's just say this. Early arcade versions 8 and 16.
That's for me. The key thing is that I mean you got to have the NES games. I don't know how you can do a collection without having the major games in the series,
Bloodlines.
But I think that
Bloodlines.
I'd be more excited about the lesser known games,
Yeah.
some of which are not very good,
Right.
like Haunted Castle,
Right.
but I think absolutely worth having. I just think everything.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't see any reason why you couldn't have everything.
Yeah. And
I mean, there's no way they're going to put everything.
No, there isn't. But
Because then you're looking at like all the GBA games and all the DS games.
But GBA games have a tiny footprint.
I know, but they're not going to put those on there.
a console collection. What about a Switch collection? They did that. Could put those on there.
I'm just saying. Ideally for me, I would
No, I
like
think
to
you're
see.
right.
Yeah, the early arcade 8-bit, 16-bit. Symphony of the Night, of course, is the best Castlevania still.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
And
But it's been released so many times.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I mean, I would love to see a collection with all the portable ones. That could be the follow up.
So I
You're-
guess maybe.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's never happening.
No, it's not.
I don't think you could base. Well, I mean, I don't know. With Castlevania, maybe you could because the portable collection for Castlevania is pretty robust, and some of those games.
Oh yeah.
Are huge.
Well, you have 3 original GBA games.
Right.
You
Which are
have
probably
what-
the weakest of the
Oh, certainly.
whole set.
For sure, but I mean, you want to have those for historical
Right.
purposes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have there's what 3 GBA games, I think.
I don't even remember
I
anymore.
mean, Circle of the Moon, obviously.
Circle of the
and-
Moon. You could make it so you could actually see that game.
Yeah, exactly. And then your DS games, which were all fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Circle of the Moon, Aria of Sorrow, and Harmony of Dissonance. Yeah,
yes.
those are the 3 on GBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are I'm all for a Castlevania collection.
But okay, so let's back it up then a little bit. So
Okay.
take out. So let's assume that you have all the 3 NES games.
Uh-huh.
Let's assume all the GBA games, which wouldn't
Okay.
happen. But let's assume that. Like, let's take out sort of the GBA DS stuff.
Uh-huh.
Take out NES, Symphony of the Night, stuff like that. The lesser known Castlevanias.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you had to pick 3, what 3 would you pick to have on
Well,
a collection like that?
I'm going to count Bloodlines as lesser known.
That's fair.
Because nobody seems to. Nobody might be strong, but when people bring up Castlevania, everyone's
don't
just like, "Oh,
mention
the NES games, Symphony, Super Castlevania."
You know why though? I think
Why?
for that situation, it's not because people didn't play it back then.
Right?
It's because now,
Yeah.
nobody effing remembers games on the Genesis.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you go on, like something that Kevin Larrabee and I used to talk about all the time. He used to talk about this back in my play. It's like if I want to beef up my numbers on a given week, make it about a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Because that's
course.
that's really
Yeah.
what the internet cares about.
Why do you think
But-
that is?
Well, I mean, why wouldn't it?
It's nostalgia.
It's nostalgia, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it?
But what
the
I'm saying is,
Genesis is not old
if
enough
you-
yet?
But
Or
no, I don't think so. But I think what I'm saying is that I don't think that if you're talking about the generation that was playing games in the early
Right.
90s,
Yeah.
I don't think Bloodlines is a lesser known game.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say. But it is now because I mean,
Right.
all the people who are playing games in the 90s are old farts like us.
Also, Bloodlines is excellent,
Oh,
and
so good.
it has never been re-released. Am I correct in that?
I don't think so.
Huh.
You don't
Did
think
it come out on the virtual console?
I don't think it did.
You're probably right.
I don't believe it did.
Yep.
So we
Yep.
need a re-release of that.
Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, that's a good pick. 2 more. Give me 2 more.
Um,
For whatever reason, not because it's the best or anything, but if
Right,
you
right,
feel
right.
like it needs to be included.
I mean, that's the one. Rebirth, I think, is a
Yeah,
fair.
I think Rebirth is a very
Rebirth
good choice.
is a very good choice there. And then, I mean, normally I would say the PC Engine Rondo of Blood,
Although
But
that's seen a lot of
that's-
re-releases
That's
too.
been getting some re-releases lately.
Yeah.
So
What about
Not-
like the Saturn version of Symphony of the Night? No?
For those
That
not,
was
for those
so
not
bad.
watching, Greg was vigorously shaking his
Oh.
head so hard that his entire body turned as well.
That's true.
It
My
is not a good
abdomen's
version.
still rippling.
Mm.
Woohoo, look
That
at
had
that
more to do with-
Flubberfly.
Yeah. No, that was not a good version. So that
No,
was
it's not.
for people who don't know. So Symphony of the Night, they re-released that on the Saturn. However, it comes with extra content, which is great.
Yeah.
You can play as Maria.
Yep.
From and there are, I think, 2 new areas
And fight
that weren't in the
Cutman
PlayStation game.
and Woodman.
and
I
Woodman.
believe.
You mean Woodsman? And but runs like Dookie.
Yeah, it's not good.
And I remember being so
Mhm.
excited about it because back then it's like, well, if it's a 2D game, it's going to run great on the Saturn.
Yeah.
And
And it
if
didn't.
you remember, Symphony of the Night on the PlayStation did have slowdown. So we're
Mhm.
thinking, oh, that's all going to be fixed. This is going to be amazing. And it was just god awful.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
not
So-
not released outside
Did not
Japan.
release here. Although it was planned to be released here.
Oh, was it really?
Yes.
Okay.
And
didn't
didn't like EB sell the import copy?
Well,
They were doing that towards the end of the Saturn.
I was working at Babbage's
Yeah.
at the time, and Babbage's started carrying import Saturn games for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there were so many import Saturn games that never came here.
We were because you would go in and you would buy one of the little converter cartridges to plug
Mhm.
into the memory card slot, and
Mm-hmm.
specifically, I remember Castlevania, Radiant Silvergun,
Shining Force stuff.
was Shining
right?
Force one of them. I don't
think so.
remember.
Yes, because only the first part of Shining Force 3 came here.
Okay.
Two
Yeah.
and 3 never came here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. And like X-Men versus Street Fighter
Oh yeah, of course.
was
course.
yeah.
In
So-
the chat there, Sledge has a great selection that we haven't talked about. Kid Dracula.
Oh, that's that's
Dracula.
That's the answer.
Probably
right
the
there.
probably the NES version because that's the one,
Yeah.
the Famicom version because that never
Famicom
came here.
version, yeah. No, that
So
that
those
is
are-
the
Those are good
correct
choices.
answer.
Yeah, those
Jeez,
are some good
yeah.
choices.
Yeah, and I would hope that they would do some kind of
I'd love to see the SNK 40th anniversary treatment
yeah.
to these.
You mean
Although-
like historical stuff and
Yes.
didn't you mention like some kind of mode where you can have the gameplay itself?
Yes, although I
Mhm.
don't know that's really cool. I don't know that would be necessarily required here. And I think as
Right,
you got into
right,
the
right.
later Castlevanias, to be rough anyway because they're not linear. But
Save
just sort of the
states,
treatment of that. Yeah,
a
save
rewind
states,
button, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In that vein, though, I know Frank Cafaldi has already popped onto Twitter and said that
not
he
them.
and
That they're
yeah,
not
they
doing
are
it.
they are not working on it. Yeah,
Mm.
so he does not know who it is, but it ain't him.
M2.
That doesn't-
M2.
If it's not M2,
It's
oh, Yeah.
I can't imagine Konami cares enough
no,
I
to
can't
hire
either.
M2.
that's been my
That's the
that's been my
sad thing.
worry. Yeah, that's been
That's
my
the
worry
sad
ever since
thing.
this came out. It's just like, really, they're not going to put any real effort into this.
At Games is doing it.
Oh, it'll be Castlevania 1,
yeah.
Castlevania N64, the first one,
Oh,
yeah.
And-
oh Lord!
and the PlayStation 2 games.
Oh,
I
man.
played that Castlevania on
The
N64.
N64. The
So
I
first
still
one.
have it.
Crap,
I have
but
both
yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
I believe I have
Awful.
both of them.
There
as
are
well.
people who talk about those games with a lot of I don't get it
Rose-colored
either.
Glasses.
I don't get it either. I really don't.
Not
They were not good.
Colored glasses. Yeah.
That's a
All
shame.
right. Well, we got some Microsoft news last week. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess it's still this week, technically, since we're recording on Friday. But we had an Inside Xbox presentation, so there were a couple interesting tidbits here.
did not
First
watch
one
them.
is that Halo: The Master Chief Collection
Master
is
Chief.
showing. Master
Chief.
Chief.
Master
Collection.
Chief.
Hello, I am the Master Chief.
Master
Chief.
We shall go and fight the flood. Everybody
coming-
on to the Halo.
is coming to the PC,
Oh,
and even more interesting, it's coming to Steam.
Oh, and it's got Reach included, right?
So
Halo Reach
it-
is included.
Yeah, as part of the announcement, Halo Reach is being added to the Master Chief Collection.
In general,
And-
on the Xbox One as well.
In general, yes.
Sweet.
So it'll be on the Xbox. And actually, that's what's leading the collection on PC and Steam. They're leading with Halo Reach first. And they're going to release these piecemeal on PC and Steam.
So it's coming to Steam.
Can I say?
Yes, that's what I said.
I know.
It's news to me that it wasn't already on Steam.
Really?
I really
Microsoft
thought
doesn't
Master Chief
really
Collection-
release.
Well, I guess on
their games.
PC.
They release.
I guess I'm saying.
Yeah, the Windows 10 store.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then,
that's why I was a little taken aback by the whole Steam release.
You should release it on the Epic Store.
Because this is I think there's like one or two other games that are out on Steam, but most Microsoft games are just Windows 10,
Right?
and that's it. And the point that I don't think was clarified here is whether PC, like if you buy it on Windows 10 or you're playing multiplayer on Xbox, is it going to be crossplay with Steam as well? Like, how is that going to work? Are you going to sign into Xbox Live via Steam?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
Very possible. Like other multiplayer games on Steam have you sign into specific publisher accounts.
I sign into Xbox Live on my Switch to play Minecraft.
Yep, exactly.
Why not?
Why not? Indeed. Yes.
This is the wacky world we live in these days.
I know.
There's a Sonic the Hedgehog game on a Nintendo system.
What? Are you serious?
I can go into
Quarterman told me so
right now and pick it up.
Dang.
It's like an Olympics game.
I never thought that would happen.
It's kind of like a decathlete. But
hey,
but still,
don't be smirched decathlete like that.
I would never.
I remember buying the issue of Nintendo Power that had Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I think was the one that was first.
That was a shame.
And just thinking like this is like hell has frozen over, right?
You could travel back to 1987 and show that to yourself.
Yeah,
that'll actually
blow your mind.
Actually, you would be like, "Who the hell is this blue guy?"
Go back to 1992.
I was gonna say in 87 you'd be in trouble. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
87. You'd be like Nintendo Power. What's that? Nintendo
87?
Fun Club News.
That's right. Nintendo Power wasn't a thing in 87, was it?
I thought it was 88.
Boy, I don't remember.
And you worked for the magazine.
Oh, I mean,
magazine's dead.
Magazine died. 1988, July 1988.
Yeah,
okay,
I remember.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember it well.
There it is.
So if I look on here, maybe it's just Google understanding that I know you, but the little blurb in Google, staff writers, Phil Theobald.
Really?
But it might just be because I know you. I mean, God knows what Google knows about me.
Let's see here. Nintendo.
It's just a little blurb on the search page. I didn't actually go to Wikipedia.
Jesus, that's it. Yeah, for me too. Editor-in-chief Steve Thomason, who is still my boss, and staff writers Phil Theobald. So
it must be grabbing from the final issues there then.
Sorry, everyone else who worked on that magazine.
There you go.
Some of whom I still work with.
Yeah.
But I guess I made the most impact.
Yeah, no, if you go to the Wikipedia page, you're the staff writer that's listed.
What?
It's editor-in-chief Steve Thomason, former editors Chris Slate, staff writers Phil Theobald. That's it.
Whoa!
I did not edit that.
Are you sure? Hold on, I'll log into Wikipedia and make sure.
I mean, you can check. I didn't.
That's great.
Who did that?
God. I feel like you've insulted so many people who
I didn't do that though.
Made that magazine a beloved periodical.
There's some hardcore Phil Theobald fan out there. Saying, for the last like 2 years of that magazine's life, that guy was sneaking so many Kid Nicky references into the magazine.
At least the Final Fantasy VIII screenshot wasn't in there.
Who's to say it wasn't?
It's real tiny, but it's there.
It's there. You have to look real hard with the microscope.
I feel free to edit that. Someone. I am not the only person who worked on Nintendo Power. Former editors. It's just Chris
It's
Slade.
just you. Yeah, it's just Chris.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to talking about some Microsoft stuff.
Okay.
Because they showed off the Project Stream.
Yeah.
They showed off Forza Horizon 4 running on a mobile device.
Yeah.
And apparently, we're going to see some public trials of this happening later this year.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
cool. It's a real thing. There's also a phantom white Xbox control pad that is partially clear, see-through, which I love me some
I hate that so much.
transparent controllers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love that
So
so much.
so is it called? Is that the name? Phantom
It's
White?
called the Phantom White Special Edition. Yeah,
So
you can
is this-
pre-order it right now on the Microsoft Store, and then it comes out on April 2nd.
Is this
worldwide.
supposed to represent a deceased Xbox controller?
There's also like a Phantom Red,
plenty
and a
of
Phantom
those.
Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
there we go.
Phantoms don't have to be dead, right? Was the Phantom of the Opera dead?
Ben Affleck
just
was
haunted
bomb
the
at
opera.
Phantoms, yo.
Wow, wow, pulling that
Deep cut.
way.
Yeah.
That is such a deep cut.
Anyway,
Anyway,
the Phantom is my favorite superhero movie.
and
Oh,
also
God,
my
that was
favorite
so bad.
vaporware console.
I'm a big Billy Zane fanatic,
Mhm.
and yeah.
I remember going to see that.
I see. I never actually saw it.
Oh,
Me neither.
really?
No,
No,
I
because
did
that
not.
was definitely sort of the was that the early 90s?
That was 96.
Yeah, so it was still kind of in the wake of the Batman comic book,
Right.
where you're getting all those movies, and I went to
The
see almost
Shadow.
all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
went and saw the Shadow.
Yeah, because I went and saw the Rocketeer,
Oh,
which I
hell
quite-
yeah.
The Rocketeer.
which I quite liked.
Rocketeer is good.
I went and saw Dick Tracy, which was
I
Me
loved
too.
Dick Tracy.
really
I
nice.
liked
See,
Dick Tracy too.
Looking
guess
back on it, it's not a very good movie,
yeah, no,
but
it's not.
I loved that they just went for it with those crazy characters. Like I just
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you know, I mean, and yeah, I thought it looked really, really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I,
And
I
Madonna
did,
wasn't bad in it either.
I did not
That's true.
like Dick Tracy, and
Yeah,
I
liked it a lot.
but I did see I did go see The Shadow.
That was Alec
No.
Baldwin.
That was Alec Baldwin,
right.
Oh, really?
and that was my final straw of movies based on obscure like radio play superheroes.
Yeah. They were
So-
really digging deep for some of those guys.
Oh yeah.
You
They
know,
were.
So
Why did they do that instead of doing comic book? At all these
no one wants
Marvel
to
and
see
DC.
Spider-Man
No.
movie.
We're going
kid-
with the
Kid
Shadow.
into The Shadow.
well, the Spider-Man license belonged to the ones who did Masters of the Universe.
yeah, the
Oh, you're right.
Not
Canon.
Carolco.
Canon.
Canon.
Yeah.
Which I only know because I happened to watch the Toy Galaxy episode
Yeah.
on that today,
Yes, indeed. So did
Yeah.
I.
where she was talking.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's why there was no Spider-Man movies in the '90s." Okay,
Canon had the rights. Well, the rights for Spider-Man were bounced around.
yeah,
For-
a lot.
I think James Cameron had him at one point.
I want to say that's true because I
Yeah.
remember. I don't know if it was before or after that because I remember hearing about James Cameron doing a Spider-Man movie
Yeah.
forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And then Raimi did it.
Also, Minecraft coming to Game Pass. in
Oh
April.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
because everybody and their dog doesn't already own Minecraft.
Also
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So Phil, how does that work? So you get is there like a standard Minecraft and then there are like paid for additions or whatever? Like
Okay.
Settle in.
Settle in. Gather around, everyone. An old man is talking.
Mhm.
How does that
So-
work?
So
Whenever they look into, anyway.
I have been deeply entrenched in the world of Minecraft.
Yes.
Especially, I mean, I played it for years,
Mhm.
but now that my son is way into it, I'm starting to get more understanding of that sort of monetization of it.
Have you bought all of the expansions?
I have not because there is a shit ton of them.
Okay.
Well, it's one of those things where people can make their own and kind of
Oh,
marketplace.
okay.
There, I 1,000,001
Okay.
types of things. So yeah, there's the core Minecraft game, which
That's the one that's going on Game Pass.
that's the one that's on every system now.
Yeah.
It's the same because I think it used to be in Java. Like the PC version was originally programmed in Java.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, and then
Wow.
like I believe so. I believe so. Don't quote me on that, but I think
Oh,
that's
I'm going to.
And the
But
original mobile version was that, like
Yeah.
offshoot of that, and then they
Yeah.
converged everything and made the core. Yeah.
because what
Back
ended up happening was they had to convert it to all the different systems. So there was like the Wii U version and the Xbox One, and none of them were compatible because it's everyone's
Yeah.
just trying to make their own ports basically. And then now they have the current version is unified across all systems.
Yeah.
And it's all systems are tied to your Xbox account, which is nice because if you buy an add-on pack, you can use it in every version you own.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
You're right, by the way. It was originally written in Java.
Oh, look at that. See?
Yeah.
Huh.
Boom. And I don't know. And if you go to the Minecraft marketplace, well, first of all, you have to it's got its own currency.
Yeah.
Got it mine coins,
Mm-hmm.
which you can
Good Lord.
purchase them directly. You can go get gift cards at Target and stuff. Certainly we gave Finn some mine coins for his birthday a couple weeks ago.
But are there any like official expansions that you have to buy add on to the core? Is what I'm asking, I guess.
Nothing you have to. It's all
But you can. Like, what's the better together thing that I heard about? Is that a thing that you have to pay for, or is it just part of core?
No, that's just I believe that's just the whole idea that now you can play with people whatever system you're on.
Okay.
There is something called Realms, which the way I understand it is basically you paying like a monthly fee, or you can, I think you pay for like 3 months or a year probably, to basically set up your own little private server that you can then invite friends into so you can all play together in this one big world.
Okay.
It's available for everyone. But then, you can buy like texture packs or character skins or
so there's official not fan created Minecraft.
Yeah,
stuff.
there are stuff that is actually done by Minecraft, quote unquote. Usually a lot of those times you get like the licensed stuff. Like a couple weeks ago, they just came out with like a Steven Universe.
Right. I saw that.
Where it's like you get a bunch of Steven Universe skins.
Okay.
And there's a whole map that looks like the world of Steven Universe and stuff like that. Cool. And one of the things that people are doing now as well is there's like people are creating little kind of like game scenario type things, because you can do tons of crap in Minecraft.
So you're saying it's Roblox?
I guess I've never. Finn is not into Roblox.
That's basically
is it that?
Yeah,
because Finn just bought a.
You can do that in Fortnite too.
Little like arena type thing where it's.
No, I mean Fortnite now too, not Fortnite 2.
Now.
Yeah.
Fortnite
There's
2.
No Fortnite 2
has now been announced right here. You've heard it here first. Yeah, but there's like people are setting up like arena battles that have kind of scripted storylines and voiceover stuff like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah, there's a ton of that crap.
All right.
Yeah. So there you go.
I see. So yeah, I guess I'll be playing some of that in April. I'll give it a shot on the Game Pass.
Oh, you're finally gonna? Because have you not tried Minecraft?
I have tried. Yes.
Yeah.
I have tried to play Minecraft, but
well, didn't you say your kid tried it and she couldn't click with it?
No, she didn't click with it. Which she plays a lot of Roblox and loves Dragon Quest Builders. So we might give it another shot.
Give it another shot.
I think we will.
And all his little buddies are way into it. So
yeah. So Sega has halted sales of their new title Judgment.
Yeah.
Because one of the actors in the game, Pierre Taki, has been arrested for cocaine possession. So they pulled the game from shelves and stopped selling the digital version in Japan. The game is, as far as we know, still on track for a US release on June 21st.
Okay.
But yeah, this is interesting.
Seems like a overreaction.
Bit of a yeah,
Well,
kind of.
from what I understand, Japan is really tough on drugs.
Yeah, they're pretty zero tolerance with the
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a
So, I think this is
well,
very
then I
much
guess
a
that
cultural
makes
thing.
sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But from my North American sensibilities, seems like an overreaction.
From a North American sensibilities, we would definitely not
I'm gonna go buy some legal weed now.
stop
Yeah.
selling a game. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah,
Yep.
maybe it'll come out in June. Who knows? I guess we'll find out soon enough.
this game
Uh-huh.
it's a spin-off of
It's-
Yakuza or something?
It's like the same team
Okay.
doing this. It's the Yakuza studio.
Okay.
And like the Yakuza game series, it uses a lot of Japanese actors who are in,
Right.
gangster movies
or actual actors.
and actual actors. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and let's wrap it up with a report that Electronic Arts paid Ninja. That's a Twitch streamer for
Yep.
you
Yes,
guys.
I am
They paid
familiar
him. They paid him $1 million to stream himself playing Apex Legends
All right.
and tweet about it too.
Well,
And were people aware that he'd been paid to do this when he did it?
So you have to say that it's a sponsored stream, and the tweet that he put out has #ad on
Okay.
it. So it has been marked as an ad, a paid for thing.
well,
Okay. Nothing wrong with that then.
Nothing
say-
wrong with that, I suppose.
let's say you're in the marketing department and you have $1 million to spend to promote your new game. What's a better use?
What's a better use than having the top streamer on Twitch play it for a little while?
Although-
Talk it up.
Although I did see an article recently saying that influencers are not as effective as they used to be,
yeah.
except in the
Huh.
case of the top like 10%,
Except
which
except
Ninja
in the
is
game.
clearly,
Right.
you know.
And except when the game is really good, like Apex Legends is.
So
No. That's not what the article is about. It's,
Okay.
it doesn't matter if the game's good or not. That's not the point.
Okay.
The point is that it's not, because I mean, and I'm sure CJ, you've gone through this being in publishing up until very recently.
Mhm.
Influencers are a huge part of your marketing plan.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
a thing now, right? Like,
Yeah. And sponsored streams. A lot of streamers do sponsored streams.
yeah, absolutely.
This is
But
it's
now,
thing.
based on this article I was reading anyway, they're saying that the data is showing over the last few years that the effectiveness of that has dropped off precipitously
Yeah.
if you're not dealing with the like top 10%. And I think like the top 5% are pretty stable, but then after like the bottom half of the top 10% are very fluid.
Yeah.
And that those are different people all the time. So yeah, and I mean the article went on to talk about like when you're dealing with influencers, it's a little bit rough where they're not traditional media.
Yeah.
Right.
You hear stories about, well, we paid someone to play this game and they just didn't do it because they didn't feel like it, and they said, well, I do better when I stream Fortnite.
Right.
Like, well,
right,
but
right,
we
right.
paid you to stream this.
But then-
you know?
I mean, wouldn't theoretically they have to sign a contract?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not dealing with the same, like I said, with individuals
Right.
to get
Yeah.
that. And I'm not saying everyone does that. It was an interesting article. I need to see if I can go find
Yeah.
it, because
Okay.
just to
Let
say,
me
like,
let me link to that in the show notes. That'd
Yeah.
be very interesting to read.
yeah, but I mean, but then you look at like Apex Legends, they
Right.
built it. They built the success of that launch on influencers.
Right.
So it's
Yeah, and the
clearly
game-
can still be super effective.
The game is very stream friendly. Like the presentation
Oh,
is
yeah.
very broadcast friendly.
Yeah,
like it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's
I'm
great for that.
it's just it's not, it's kind of like influencers in general don't seem to be the golden goose that they were for
Yeah.
a little while.
Right.
It's very particular.
But I mean, that was kind of inevitable.
Well, yeah,
to happen at
just
some
like anything. Yeah.
Right.
They have so Mixer does this. They have a series of channels called the Hype Zone, where they take a particular game and it's like the NFL Red Zone. I hear, because I don't watch the football, the sports ball. But so basically, yeah, they cut to the hype zone when a streamer is in the top like 5 or 3 in Apex Legends and other games too. Rainbow Six Siege has its thing, PUBG has one, Fortnite has one, etc. So it's really interesting to watch that channel. I've had the Apex Legends channel on occasionally when I'm just browsing the internet and whatnot, because it's exciting. The final minutes of a battle royale game are always exciting, or mostly exciting.
Yeah, I'm sure they
until
are.
the person who's
I've never
dies
experienced
and
them.
actually.
So
Yeah, me neither. I'm vicariously living through these streamers who are in the hype zone. But anyway, I think speaking of hype zones, we should get into what we've been playing.
Since we've been recording for 45 minutes now.
Apparently, I thought we were going to be short this week.
Yeah.
And of course, that never happens.
Hey.
It's been a while.
Did you guys see this this great indoors sale that
I did? Yeah.
right now?
PlayStation.
Where is it?
Sony PlayStation Store.
Have to go.
I gotta flip through there. There's I think I saw Wario 64 tweet out that there's 600
games on sale.
sale.
Yeah, it's one of their big. I think they did this last year too. It's one of their big sale events.
Yeah, I'm
gonna
go through this.
Well, you guys go ahead and talk about what you've been playing. I'm gonna sift through these.
Right?
Exactly. Greg, you want to go first? I try to mix it up with who goes first, and Greg, you haven't been first in a while, so
I'm going to talk about old stuff because I didn't play anything new this week. You know what? Surprisingly enough, I spent some time this week working on a new Sega CD article for the blog. I'm still doing that.
I'm going to have to add that.
A year.
I'm going to have to add that back to the outro. Then is that
Probably
what you're saying?
A year. You are.
Let me ask you a question here. So I see the game on the list here.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, the Nintendo Switch Online service slate of NES games updated, and Zelda 2 added an SP special mode that gives you a maxed out Link at the beginning.
Everything's
of the game.
at level 8.
So
attack, magic, and life are at level 8.
Yeah, wow. when I tweeted about it on Tuesday when the update hit the store, and was that what you were streaming on Tuesday night?
No,
because I saw you streamed Zelda 2, and I was like,
no.
"Oh, is he going to cheat and do the SP?"
Because 2 weeks previous, I had started Zelda. What I was streaming on Tuesday night was part 2 of my run. Okay. So 2 weeks previous, I had started Zelda 2, and then of course I go to do that. And I'm like, "Oh look, special edition." But you know what? Honestly, it would make things easier. Don't get me wrong, but there's still the difficulty spikes in that game are still tough, even if you're at level 8 with everything.
I want to play the SP mode now because the difficulty turned me away from the game originally. So
the thing to note is, excuse me, you haven't gotten any of the magic containers, you haven't gotten any of the heart containers,
right?
All those still need to be gained. So you still have a standard heart and magic life bar, but
okay.
They reduce it at a lower rate because you're at level 8. So no, I did my the second stream of my Zelda 2 playthrough this week. So I finished Death Mountain the first week.
Mm-hmm.
Now I finished Castle.
That is a giant maze.
It's a giant maze, but when you go into the caves, there's side scrolling battles, which they started introducing some enemies that I probably should know the names of these, but there's these little axe throwing guys that your shield does not stop the axes, and they are so hard. Oh my god, they're so hard. So I went through that, and I did the 3rd castle. So I've made it as far as the 4th castle now. So I'm good. I'm more than halfway through the game. It is getting extra hard. And now what can happen when you get to that point in the game, especially if you're playing without save states, which I am playing with save states, is when you die, you don't lose any of your items. And in fact, if you're halfway through a castle and you found the item that's in the castle, you still have it, right? And all the doors that you had unlocked are still unlocked, things like that. So the game is generous in the state that it saves things in, which when you consider how old the game is, that's pretty good. But you lose all your experience. And the way that game works is that the experience point system works is that, like, when you start, you have a threshold. You're at 0 to 50. And when you hit 50, one of either your attack, your magic, or your life can go up a level. And each one maxes out at 8. But then your experience is reset when you do that back down to 0. Now, I think if you had any bleed over into, like, whatever you gained, I think that's added. But my point is that as those numbers get bigger, like, so at first, if you die, it's like, well, I've lost 50 experience points. Not a big deal. As those numbers get bigger, like right now I'm at 2,500, I think. So I need to get to 2,500 experience points before I hit my next level up. And if I'm at like 2,200 and I die, I go down to 0.
Nope.
That is one of the things that makes that game so difficult, because it is so punitive when you die. But then the way to deal with that too is that when you beat a boss, and there are 6 bosses in the game before you go to the final level, the final castle, you get enough experience points to go to the next level. So what you want to do is hit that level up just before you get to the boss room, and then get another quick level up there if you can beat the bosses, which are also getting more difficult. So major difficulty spikes. Starting to remember how hard this game was. It's funny. One of my regular viewers, who actually you both know, Scoop Joey.
Yeah.
He was sitting there watching the other night, and he was chatting on Twitch and saying, like, normally when I watch streams of old games, I love it because I'm seeing something that I feel like I might have missed out on, and I want to play now. And he's watching me play. He's like, I don't feel like I missed out on anything with this one.
Right. In
Which
fact,
I
I'm
get.
screaming at the monitor.
Yeah, you're like, I'm as frustrated as you, which I get. I mean, I've always said that my love for that game is largely based in nostalgia, because that was like one of the first games I got for my Nintendo when I actually got an NES. But I'm still tearing through it. So, it's not impossible. It's hard. It's really hard, but it's not impossible. And I got the downward thrust and the upward thrust now. So now I feel a little more powerful.
So it's hard, really hard, and you got the downward thrust
and the upward thrust.
The upward thrust.
So I can go top or bottom.
Okay. I like where this is going.
All right.
But if you want to experience Zelda 2 and smooth out at least the difficulty curve at the beginning,
try that.
That special version.
Yeah.
That's great. Also played through Space Quest 2.
Oh, nice.
Which gave me all the nostalgia this week as well.
Vogon's Revenge?
Vohal's Revenge.
Sludge
Vohal.
Vogon is Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Sludge Vohal, who is planning to take his revenge on your home planet by unleashing an army of door-to-door insurance salesmen.
Yes.
Because this is a Sierra game from the 80s.
Right.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And it's cool because I've been going through all these adventure games on Monday nights, kind of in chronological order. Like next week, I'm actually doing Deja Vu on the NES, which is going to be fun because those Kemco Seika ports of the Mac Venture series were so good.
They were.
And they had great music, really great, underrated music, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm now starting to get into the era like 87, 88, where that's when I started playing Sierra games.
Mm-hmm.
So like Space Quest 2 was one of the first Sierra games I actually played, because I wasn't into it early enough to have Space Quest 1. So there's a lot of sort of happy memories of that game. Still really short, but still really funny.
Yeah,
I find. And Roger's such a lovable loser.
Roger Wilco,
although he wasn't called that in this version.
Oh no.
No, Roger, that didn't come in until later. I don't even think it was Space Quest 3. It might have been 4, or the remake of Space Quest 1. They did VGA remakes of Space Quest, of the first few Sierra games. So,
yes.
And then the only other game that I really played this week was Ultimate Spider-Man, and that was a donor request on Thursday night. Basically, I'm telling you about the 3 games I streamed this week. So, hey, if you're interested in any of this, twitch.tv/Seward, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So I was playing Ultimate Spider-Man, which I almost... Seabake wanted to get on with me, which would have been amazing. Chris Baker, of course.
Spectacular, really.
Spectacular. There you go. it would have been great because, of course, I think he actually worked on this game. I think he was working at Marvel at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's always fun to have Seabake when you're playing anything to do with comic books because he's just got encyclopedic knowledge.
Totally.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's in the middle of, his game, Operencia, comes out very soon.
Yeah, that's right.
End of the
Which
month,
we should be calling out. End of the month, Operencia. So an RPG from Zen Studios that Seabake did the writing for.
Yep.
Which, by the way, I'll be streaming next week.
Cool.
He sent a copy, so I'll be streaming that on Tuesday and Thursday night at least next week. Hopefully he'll be able to join me for one of those. But yeah, this is one of the games that he worked on. So it's for the original Xbox, and it's a nice premise. It's based on the Ultimate Spider-Man comic series. So you're playing as Spider-Man and Venom. The story is the two of them, but it has a lot of cameos from other characters in the universe. Like Wolverine is one of the first bosses Venom fights.
Oh, nice.
Silver Sable is in there. So of course, you're a lot of feeling about the latest Spider-Man. What's his name from the Fantastic Four? The flaming guy,
Johnny Fire.
Johnny Fire. Yeah,
Flame
on.
Johnny Fire, the human match.
The human match.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot, and I know that Nick Fury's in there somewhere as well. Game doesn't hold up very well though. It's an early open world game, and the buildings aren't tall enough for the swinging, and also it's very much like the web has to attach to something. It's not very intuitive. Although it also has a web zip very similar to the latest Spider-Man. That helps out a little bit, but yeah, it's not terrible. But like what I was saying on the stream is, I can imagine if somebody played this when it first came out, they'd have very strong positive feelings about it now.
Yeah.
Thinking maybe not necessarily playing it again, but thinking back on it, because
this
was before we'd really refined open world gameplay. And it was just kind of cool that it was open world and that you're Spider-Man. You can climb up anything. You can swing around. In hindsight, a lot of that doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
And the camera is god awful.
But it looked really nice for the time too, right?
It's a cell shaded look. It looks really good.
Yeah.
So, I could see people loving it. Playing it now, kind of rough, especially coming off of Spider-Man last year. But some good ideas. It's fun to be able to play as Venom. Venom's such an awesome character in general, so it's fun to be able to play as him. And he plays completely differently than Spider-Man in the game, which is nice. But yeah, it has some balance issues, has some camera issues. The boss fights take way too long. I was fighting Rhino at the end of the night, and it was just like, oh my God, when is this fight ever going to finish? But yeah, it was okay. It was all right. Not great. Always fun to fire up an old Xbox game, and because oh my God, those are old now.
Oh yeah,
they're old games now.
Yep.
It's always fun to play retro. Like non-HD, like right on the cusp of the HD era games where like the HUD and the on-screen text is like huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the on-screen button prompt is like really large compared to what we get now.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Everything is teeny tiny.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even going back and playing like Cameo on Rare Replay, like the elements there are so huge. It's just like, oh yeah.
So
right at the HD transition.
Just want to call out, like I said, that those were all Twitch games, games that I streamed on Twitch last week, and this coming week, planning to stream Deja Vu on the NES and a couple nights of Operencia, Seabake's game. So come by and check that out.
Cool.
Cool deal.
That's all it got.
Alrighty, Phil.
Yes.
What you got for us?
Well, played a little more Devil May Cry 5. Just a little. I didn't have much time for extensive game sessions this week, so I just played a little more Devil May Cry 5. Still great. I am not terribly good at Devil May Cry 5 though, because I've seen videos of people online who are very good at that game, pulling off just like crazy
Insane.
techniques and
Things you will never be able to do.
oh yeah, things I could never do in a million years.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'm sitting back. I'm enjoying the ride.
Okay.
Yeah, I just need to sit down and play more of it. I also I was playing a little NES this week.
Ooh.
Finn wanted to see some old video games, so I fired up the little NES Switch.
Does he really say, I want to see some old video games?
Yeah,
What's the request here?
You know what? Hey, before you go any further, that reminds me. I fired up while I was getting my Xbox set up. I
Yes.
fired up Prince of Persia: Sands of Time,
Oh,
and my son watched me play that for about an hour, and he was like, "I want to play this. Like, can I play
Yeah.
this next? Can you leave this
There you
out so I can play this?" I was like, that's my boy."
there you go. Now Finn, he does not specifically request old video games,
okay.
but he would just be, "Oh, Daddy, play a game. I want to watch you play a game." Okay, what do you want to watch me play?
Uh-huh.
Super Mario 2.
Nice.
Perfect.
Good lad. It's good lad.
You will.
So I go to load it up,
Yeah.
and you see the cascade of box arts, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hold on, and he starts looking at all of them, and it's just like,
Turtles.
oh, what's what?
Well, that's not on the Switch.
Switch?
Oh, sorry. I thought you. Damn.
No.
I'm not really paying close attention. Keep
But
going.
but he sees the first one he calls out. He said, "Oh, what's Blaster Master?"
Oh.
If I ever had any doubts that you were my son, here it is. Here's the evidence.
Yes.
So I popped in little Blaster Master, showed him that. We played.
Plus, they have that SP mode that
do
puts right
have
at the end.
Yep, gives you all the power ups for your tank.
Blaster Master's hard,
It is not an easy game to play.
man. Like, and I just finished saying that Zelda 2 is hard, but I'm dealing with it.
Yeah,
I fired up Blaster Master a few times, and even in the first stage, I'm like, this is not easy.
no, it
No.
is not. I never actually finished that game.
Oh, didn't you? I finished it when I was a kid.
Really?
I don't know how.
I got to the final boss,
Yeah.
but the final boss finished me off, and I don't believe you could continue in that game.
I don't remember, but you're probably right.
It was once your lives are done, have fun going back to the beginning of the game.
Ugh.
And that was
Hated
not a short game either.
Hated that.
It was not a short game.
Thank God for save states.
Yeah, really.
Mm.
So I played a little bit of that, and then I was like, let's go play some Mario, and then I bounce out. Then and then he sees Kirby. He's like, oh, let's show me that Kirby game. Because he's familiar with the character of Kirby. So
Sure.
Kirby, and that's another one that has one of those SP save files,
Yes.
Mhm.
which so I loaded that up, and we went right to the final boss, which has like 3 or 4 forms. It turns out I had
It's
forgotten
hard.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's super hard too.
because you fight King DDD, and I beat him, and then you get whisked away to a final world where you're fighting like the big boss, who has 2 or 3 forms, I forget.
Yeah.
But we did it. We got through that. We finished the game, so Finn got to see the ending to that, and then we're out again looking at the games, and he spies Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, another good game.
Has one of the best covers.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
NES game. So we
Which also has an SP version.
Which starts you right at
Super
where I
good.
starts you
chapter
right where I
6.
got to in the actual same thing. I played through
Yeah.
right to the end, and then the SP version came out, and is exactly where I stopped playing.
Of course, the cruel twist of fate for that SP one, because it puts you like right at the final boss, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
When the final boss kills you, and
sends you way back.
sends you way the hell back.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, and he
So-
will. I fought Jacquio a couple of times now, and I don't remember how I ever beat him.
Yeah,
Man, that is difficult.
I actually played through that on the Switch like not too long after it came out.
Uh-huh.
I think I no, you know what? I was over at Bill Mudron's house.
Mhm.
I was chilling out with Bill, and I just fired that up and played through it while we were just hanging out talking. But I may have spammed a save state here or there, but
Oh,
Sure.
absolutely.
I got
Yeah,
through it.
I mean, who doesn't do that?
Oh
in this
yeah,
day and age?
exactly. But we did finally get to. You know what? Ninja Gaiden Finn was super invested in the intro sequence.
Really?
Well, it's a
Yeah,
cool intro. Come on.
It's
Cinematic.
I mean,
Two
you get
ninjas
that-
fighting each other by moonlight.
Yeah, and he's
Mhm.
watching.
So good.
Who are those guys? And I'm trying to explain. This is that guy's your main character's dad, and that's some evil ninja.
You're like, this is what was awesome in the 80s, son.
Yes. But he totally bought into it, and
Nice.
when the dad lands and there's that beat, and then
Mhm.
he crumples, and he's just like, did he die? Yeah. That's the whole. You're trying to find your dad's killer. That's what the whole point of the game.
Yeah.
So very into that. But we finally got to Mario 2 and played through a few levels of that, and he is loving it. So
It's such a great game.
Yeah,
really.
nice.
good stuff. The only other thing I did this week, and I don't want to seem like I'm advocating piracy because I'm not.
What?
Not. This game was unreleased.
Uh-huh.
So not
You gonna talk about California raisins again? I mean, come on.
talk about
Come on.
and trust me, I'm always ready to talk about the California raisins in any capacity. No,
Okay.
I downloaded what was the name? There was that it was a PS1 fighting game.
Not
Thrill
Thrill
Kill?
Kill.
It was like the super violent one.
Thrill Kill.
No,
Citizen Kane. Citizen
No.
Kane.
This this is the one. It was super violent,
Ding dong, yo. Ding dong.
but you attacked each other with broken shards of pottery. I think it was
Broken shards of pottery.
I think it was called Thrill Kiln.
Oh,
Really? You're
God.
gonna crib that joke from Ice Cream Social?
Stealing from
God.
ICS.
That was
Kill- I was giggling over "Kill Me Softly" for a week, or
Oh, yeah.
the whole entire week. I was just like
That was-
dead.
that was just that was for Paul.
That was just for
That was-
one lister.
That was
Paul
one
Manley.
for
They had
Paul.
other good ones, but "Kill Me Softly" was
That whole bit
oh my
was
god.
amazing. But no, that's all I've been playing this.
So you didn't actually pirate anything?
No, I didn't. No, what do I
Okay.
look like?
Pirate?
No.
Some sort of
A filthy pirate, a phony.
You're a phony.
I'm so against piracy that I don't even play Sea of Thieves. CJ,
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty good.
doodly-doo.
Doodly doo doo doo.
What have you been playing? I bet Sea of Thieves.
Well, you saw the outline.
I did.
You're looking right at the outline there.
Well, actually, right now I'm looking at your handsome face.
Well, thank
Ah.
you.
And who can blame me?
Yeah.
And now, just, Greg.
Well, yeah, I did play Sea of Thieves
Mhm.
because this week they opened their insider program to everybody. So
Yeah.
they
You
had
know
this,
how I knew that? You know how I knew
ba-
that?
How?
I reached out to your best friend Mike one night to say, "Hey, let's finish that last mission Bridge Crew." Writes back, says, "I wish I had my phone here. I'd read the actual text." Writes back, says, "What's it called? The Insider
Yeah, it's the insider build. Yeah.
Insider build."
What is
Writes back and he
beta?
says, "Probably not. CJ and I and whoever else just got to access the Insider build, so
What is the insider build?
I don't think we'll be playing tonight." Like, yeah, okay, great. I'll talk
So,
to you
yeah,
guys later.
Games like
Jerks.
Overwatch and all the Blizzard games really do this, where you have like a public test server, basically, where any new features for the game are being tested by real users. So Sea of Thieves had been doing that for a little while before the game came out, and then when the game came out, they still did that with a small group, and they opened it up to basically anyone who wants to sign the NDA this week. So did that.
CJ was
and-
like, "Take my whole life. I don't care."
You mean I get to preview new features? Here you go. So now I officially belong to Microsoft. Sorry, I can't talk about any other
You already
systems
did
now.
anyway.
Right, but so yeah, I played a bunch of that, and then also this week, this upcoming week is the 1 year anniversary of the release of the game, and they're doing a whole bunch of special things, including giving out like special cosmetics to people who got Pirate Legend in the first year, which I did, of course. And then this weekend is a double gold, double XP weekend, so it's kind of crazy.
Well, there you go.
And it's funny because not only is it like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get double gold if I do all these missions, but it's going to attract the players who are like I can steal gold off of all these players who are trying to get double gold.
Oh,
So it's
if you're earning double gold and you're stealing double gold, that's quadruple gold.
No, you just get double gold from what you steal. Yeah.
Oh. But if you are earning your
That's
own
impressive.
gold,
because when you dig up a chest, it's
Uh-huh.
not yours until you cash it in at an outpost.
right?
So somebody can take it from you and make it their own.
But if you're digging up your own,
Okay, all right.
This is it's never going to go anywhere, Phil. You can
No,
stop.
it's not.
I mean, this is just economics, CJ.
You can stop.
This is why
Double gold.
this is why you're having all those tax problems, CJ, because you don't understand.
Exactly. I told you not to talk about that
Well,
on the podcast, Phil.
Sorry.
Kidding. So yeah, I obviously played a bunch of Sea of Thieves,
Yes.
including the insider build and the double gold stuff because that's awesome. And I also played a little game on Switch called Assault Android Cactus Plus. Still playing that.
Android
Twin
Assault,
stick.
yep.
Called Android Assault: The Revenge
Assault.
of
No,
Barry
you made this joke last week.
It was
But
funny.
I had to
last
link
week,
to
too.
it in the show notes.
It's not a joke. It's a real game.
It's a real Sega CD game. Yeah,
Take a CD.
I realize.
A
Goddamn right.
classic gaming system.
Anyway,
Oh, the
so yeah,
system, yeah.
this
Game, not so
game
much.
just came out on Switch, but it has been out on other platforms. If you are Xbox Live Gold member and you download games with gold,
Mhm.
this game was one of the games with gold like a year ago or so. So you might have it in your library already and not remember. So you can check it out there. And then, of course, the Switch has an enhanced version of it. So still having a lot of fun with it. It's a really, really good sort of high score chase, dual twin stick shooter thing. And I'm really having a lot of fun with it. And if you enjoy that style of game and high score chasing, especially, please check it out.
High score chasing
really
fans rejoice.
High score chase fans rejoice. Yeah. And that's all I've been playing. So I think it's time for tweets.
You sound like you're having some kind of seizure when you do that now.
I like how, by the way, ever since we got the soundboard, you
Yeah.
never do the soundboard version of the
Yeah.
tweet song. You're always like have to jazz it up a little bit. You know,
It's we want to keep it
for
fresh so people keep tuning in every week.
Jazz it
For
up
a
is one
year.
phrase for what just happened there.
for a year or more, you were doing it the same way, and now because I have the soundboard,
But you have it recorded, right? So you can just play it. You can play it whenever. There you go. So
there it is. All right.
self-harmonize.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Let's do this one from Agarelius. Actually, I want to start.
Oh,
By the way, we skipped
that one tweet. That one was garbage. Here's the
That
real
one
one.
sucked. We'll start with this one.
we skipped a news story. Jade Raymond
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
has joined Google as a VP.
Can I
course-
point out we didn't skip a news story?
I skipped it. I'm sorry. I missed it. And anyway, yeah, Google's announcing their new gaming thing this upcoming week, and we'll find out what she's been working on, what she's heading up at Google, I'm sure.
Has to.
This will be very interesting. And the rumor is that there's something Sega related in this.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we'll
Sonic
find out.
Pocket Adventure.
They're bringing back Super Monkey Ball.
Oh,
No, I don't know.
Target.
The video
But
will
it-
start. Ethan will be standing there on stage.
Yeah, but hey, they got Jade Raymond, so that's cool. Gives them some definite gaming cred there.
Let me just propose this to you real quick.
What?
Monkey Target, PlayStation VR.
I'd be down with that, of course.
Right.
Of
Right.
course.
Thank you.
And Google put out a teaser video, basically just saying they're announcing the future of gaming next week. So
Oh my god.
yeah, of course everybody does that, right? When you have a new console, it's the future of gaming coming soon.
Ugh.
But yeah, so in a week, maybe even by the time you're listening to this podcast, we'll know exactly what that's all about. So exciting stuff. I'm very curious to see what they bring to the table.
Yes.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias. Dark Shuey who says, with the shift to digital really gaining momentum, I thought I'd be nostalgic and ask, what are some examples of your all-time favorite game box art? And do you think people will start to be nostalgic in 20 years for digital thumbnails?
No,
You don't?
no.
Look at all the people who've been fighting over the Switch digital thumbnails today.
That's a
Really?
good point. There are people who want those
Explain.
thumbnails to have certain elements and look good. There's an
Yeah.
entire thread on Resetera about thumbnails that look bad.
Some game companies have had to go back and change. Like they would put out updates where they change the thumbnail because so many people complained about them.
Including Sonic Mania, right? Didn't Sonic Mania update?
I don't know. Maybe.
Pretty sure. I don't know.
know.
Anyway,
But
don't
No,
quote
I
me
you
on
know
that.
what? I definitely
Snake
think
Pass. Snake
people-
Pass definitely did.
Snake Pass was definitely one. I think one of the SteamWorld digs did as well.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I think it was SteamWorld Dig 2, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're right,
yeah, you
because
know
it
what?
was just initially it was just a 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a 2 in a box.
What am I looking
And
at here?
people complained that it wasn't like a piece of box art.
And then
So.
they put the nice, because that game has lovely art. So they put
It
the
does.
actual box art, and then they put the game logo, so you could actually tell what the title was. I absolutely think it will be nostalgic for.
I think Greg is very frustrated by this sort of
I think this is ridiculous.
thing.
I'm not saying
Getting
it's
upset.
I'm saying that I absolutely believe people will be nostalgic for
Box
these old icons.
The thumbnails.
I do. I absolutely
Okay.
do.
So box art, favorite box art.
Favorite
Well,
box art. Super Mario Brothers 3.
Classic.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Simple,
Done.
iconic, classic. I
Yeah,
already
I would-
mentioned Ninja Gaiden.
Yes. One of the ones that I really thought was striking, Faxanadu. It's just that
yeah.
stone background with
Yeah.
the logo, but I really
That's a
like
good
that
one.
a lot.
Yeah. How about Halo 2?
Yeah.
Halo 2 was great
Take
box
it with
art.
Halo.
Halo
know what?
2.
I mean,
Master
you know,
Chief with the dual wields.
let me look it up here real quick. I mean, obviously, I'm not a big Halo.
I loved
guy.
Sly Cooper, the first Sly Cooper, where it was just the. I'm a big fan of just using
Although,
icons as
I
titles.
think that was a detriment to their
It was. No, I agree. It was.
because
but
later they
I
revised
loved
it,
it.
and I bought the greatest hits version of the game
Mhm.
too, so I could be Sly Cooper clear.
No, I Jesus. I agree with that, but I just love using like an icon, especially for anything that's character based. Reminds me so much of like Tim Burton's Batman, like the original posters for that, just being
right.
the logo of Batman, right? Like,
That was different though, because people knew the bat signal. They knew the bat.
I'm not arguing that, CJ. I'm just saying I
Okay.
liked it.
Okay.
You know what I'm
sorry.
going to throw out here?
Throw it out.
Outstanding box art. Pretty much any Atari game from the Atari 2600.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have that Art of Atari book.
I mean,
I need to get
Great
that.
book. That's
I mean, if
really
you are a youngin who does not know what we're talking about, just go into Google image search and look up Atari 2600 box art.
yeah.
And it's like, these beautifully painted illustrations, of
Yeah.
some a graphic artist trying to sell.
I mean, today we call those bullshots, but back
Well,
in the day,
I think it's really fascinating because if you look back at old magazines,
Yeah.
way back in the early '80s, that's what they used because they couldn't take screenshots.
well, yeah, they drew like an artist rendering.
They
of-
hired artists to do artist rendering of what the game looked like,
yeah,
which I
And
think
weird.
is so cool.
And you would get like they would take like the box art for like the Checkers game,
oh, and make it
Or-
look really serious.
Tic-Tac-Toe, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you'd have this like beautifully painted illustration of like people playing chess in some outer space futuristic void or something.
Yeah,
And that's the
Um,
thing too, is that that box art is so supremely '70s,
Oh yeah.
which
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
makes it all the better.
I like the Missile Command box
Yeah.
art.
The
Okay.
the one
Okay.
that stands out in my mind is the Super Breakout
Mhm.
box art, which again it's Breakout. You have a multicolored bar at the top of the screen and a little paddle that's just a line and a little square you're bouncing back and forth to break down the wall.
Yep.
But you have the box art shows like, you get the rainbow line up at the top, but then there's like just like an astronaut, just like some 50-year-old dude wearing a full space helmet with the rainbow reflected in the glass, and he's, I guess, the guy who's trying to break down the wall.
Sure.
I guess.
Sure.
The
No.
talking about those illustrations reminds me of Konami's boxes for the longest time were all illustrated, and they were beautiful. And actually, want to call out My Life in Gaming. Actually, recently interviewed the illustrator Tom Dubois, which is on their channel right now, and it's just so cool to listen to him sit there and talk about how he came up with some of the most iconic game art, because Konami was all over the place. So
sure.
Well, I don't know if you saw this, but Limited Run Games. Did you see the?
I did see this actually.
And I mean, it's too late now, jerks. The sale's come and gone. But they're selling a physical release of Bloodstained Curse of the Moon.
yes,
which is the 8-bit style spin-off game for the game that's not out yet. Now you can pre-order the standard edition. You can just go on there and pre-order it, just and they're taking pre-orders for like a couple weeks or something. But they did have, actually today, as we're recording, they put up the there's a limited edition as well, where you get the game, but it also comes with an NES style box,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like the actual dimensions of the NES box, but they actually got the Konami illustrator
Tom Dubois.
to do the cover for it.
That's cool.
And it's stylized like the old Konami NES boxes with the silver sides and everything.
It's great.
And it is beautiful looking. So
yeah.
Trying to think of some other game covers that I really liked, but I mean, those are the ones that sort of leap out. And I mean, the other thing for me is the treatments for the covers as well is something that pops to mind. Like if you think back to old Konami games on the NES, and they all had the vertical silver bars on them, or the old black box Nintendo games. The Capcom originally with that grid in the background, and then they went with that like purple outline. Some
great stuff.
There's only one video game that I've ever purchased solely for the box art.
Phalanx.
Not Phalanx, no.
Really?
Okay.
And by this I mean, because I mean, certainly when I was a kid, and this is pre-internet, where you kind of had to just kind of go by faith or the back of the box.
Right.
Certainly there were games where I would look at the box and go like, oh, this has a cool cover. This game is probably really fun to play. I want this game. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying there is one game that I bought because I didn't care about the game. I didn't want to play the game. I knew I would actively not enjoy the game. But the box art was so great that I had to own a copy of it.
Yeah.
It is a PSP game.
Uh-huh.
And it is Every Extend Extra.
Oh, right. You've talked about this before.
Yeah. Every Extend Extra PSP has stunning box art.
That's true. Yeah. Have you never played the game?
I played it.
Played it.
I don't like it. It's
right.
It's like a kind of like puzzle shoot 'em up kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I don't own that game, but I can't count the amount of times I picked it up
right
in the store and thought,
really pretty box.
It is a really pretty box. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's the reason I wanted. I'm not saying that would have been the reason I bought it, but that was the reason I kept picking it up.
Sure.
But yeah.
Okay.
It's not what I like, but
another one in my head, but now it's gone.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, let's do this one from Hacker Alias Top Gun 12, who says, do you think we will ever see Sony, Xbox, or Nintendo drop from the console market?
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
You'd said in 1992 that one day Sega would drop from the console market. Everyone would have said you were crazy.
Or 1982 Atari, or
Yeah.
any of those
Yeah.
big companies. Yeah.
I mean, I would say it's just a matter of time for any of the big companies to eventually
Sure.
drop out.
Sure.
At one point, one of those companies is going to decide that, yeah, we're not making enough money back on
Mm-hmm.
this branch of our company, so we're just not going to do it anymore.
Yep.
Which
Absolutely.
one out of the main three? Which one could you see dipping out first?
Microsoft.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat.
I think that if anyone, well, we talked about this last week. I really feel like what they're doing with Game Pass,
Yep.
and Live everywhere is getting ready to drop out of hardware.
Yeah.
And turning Xbox into a service.
Which would not surprise
Yeah,
me.
possible. Well, that would not surprise me either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Do you think? Well, I mean, Google getting into it. Would you be surprised if they don't actually have a box and it's just a controller that you hook up to a PC?
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm
Me
not
neither.
necessarily
Me neither,
saying
honestly.
in the near future, but I feel like that's the road they're going down.
Yeah.
Someday. Because again, yeah, who would have thought Atari would ever give it up, or who would have thought Sega would have ever given it up?
Right.
So.
All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias. Oh wait, actually, Top Gun also says I recently moved to Seattle. If Phil ever wants lunch, I'm buying.
Oh, there we
So
go.
Phil, there you go, free lunch.
Free
Free
lunch.
I'm in.
All right, Hacker Alias Jeff Grubb says, how dumb is the idea of Sony acquiring Take-Two? This was a rumor, of course, that was earlier in the week. Got some traction before Sony and Take-Two both vehemently denied that there was any truth to the rumor whatsoever.
Exactly what they would say if they were indeed doing
What? I'm wondering how this thing got started. Like, how does a rumor like that get started?
Probably Quarterman.
Tell me, Quarterman.
Quarterman. Yeah, I mean, when you're thinking about plausible rumors, plausible rumors are like a hardware manufacturer acquiring a developer, like a Obsidian or Ninja Theory or anything like that, because those things happened. Like those happen frequently. And if you think Microsoft just finished up acquiring like 4 to 6 different studios, what studios would Sony acquire? And you're thinking, oh, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead 2, like Take-Two, Sony's going to acquire Take-Two. I mean, that it just seems outlandish as a rumor. You got to aim lower if you want people to repeat.
Take it from the guy who made up bunches of rumors in the 90s.
No, I didn't make
2000s.
up that. I didn't make up.
Listen to this man.
Now, didn't you like every other month say, "Oh, Capcom's working on a new Bionic Commando game," and eventually it just came true because given enough time.
That's what CJ did with
Commando.
That's what CJ did with the April Fool's joke we had with unlocking Sonic in Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right.
That one was absolutely something that came true eventually.
Yeah, and it was completely made up. And I think that was your idea, CJ. So.
That was my idea of Sega going third party entirely. It was thing.
Hey, is our YouTube down?
No,
really?
Not that I'm aware.
I just tried. It farted out on me, but okay.
Happened to me earlier.
Really?
It says we're still broadcasting, so I'm going with that.
That's fine by me.
But anyway, I think if you want a plausible rumor, you got to aim lower. Make it. I don't know who it would be, but don't make it Take-Two. Seems obvious. Anyway, that's like saying Microsoft's going to acquire Electronic Arts. Probably not.
Is that true?
Probably not.
Oh, but
right.
But I mean, you're saying probably not.
Yeah.
But
no.
I read on the internet that Anthem game isn't really selling very well. So
well, there it is.
Yeah.
Probably not is just a way to say probably.
Probably not. All right, let's see. Which one should we do here? Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Grim Grinning Guy, who says, my son expressed He wants a Smash Brothers party for his 5th birthday this summer. I'm so proud. Did you guys have video game themed parties when you were kids? I used to go to Galaxy World or Enchanted Castle for arcade birthday parties.
No, wait, is Grim Grinning Guy from the Chicagoland area?
He is from the Chicagoland area.
That's really
yes.
a question for you guys.
This is really a question for you and me.
So he went to the same Galaxy World that I would go to all the time.
And literally the
Crash
same
birthday parties?
arcades, the same arcades that we went to as kids.
Yes, over by the
As youngsters. I
the
would say.
Fox Valley Mall in Aurora, Illinois.
Over by Stan Mikita's
Yeah.
Donuts.
Well, they had an Aladdin's Castle. It was
Huh?
Aladdin's Castle at Fox Valley Mall.
Yes, but
Galaxy World was close to Fox Valley
that's
Mall, but
what
it was
I
not.
said. I said by Fox Valley Mall.
Well, it was several miles away.
This
Yeah, but I mean-
conversation is already exhausting.
Let's discuss
Let's discuss the mileage from the mall.
an arcade / bowling alley to the mall.
40 years ago.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? This is important. These are important facts.
Now and Greg, this was a solid 25 years ago. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay.
Let's not embarrass ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, you've already taken care of that.
Oh, sorry.
Did
Video
you-
game themed birthday party. So I did a lot of the Showbiz Pizza
Yeah.
thing back in the day. That was a thing. Everybody
so
did that.
spoiled.
So I was either at somebody's birthday party that was at Showbiz, or it was my
Just
birthday.
Go ahead
and
and
we
say
had
it,
the
CJ. It
Showbiz.
was Kanye's birthday party. You can say it.
Yeah.
I don't think his birthday party was at Showbiz.
Where was Kanye West?
No,
You attended Kanye West's birthday party, CJ.
Yeah, where was it?
I did. I think I attended several. One
Where,
of them was-
look at this.
Oh, now
know,
it's
right?
several.
One of them was at his home.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's right. I've been to Kanye
From
West's
the
house,
mean streets of Naperville.
boyhood home.
Yeah.
No, this is when I lived on the south side of Chicago.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right. Remember
okay,
he lived downtown, remember?
That's right. I forgot
Live-
you actually lived in the city.
in Chicago, Illinois address. Yeah.
Okay.
So, what were we talking about? Video game themed birthday parties.
We were talking about how you hung out with Kanye West when you were a kid, but that's fine.
Well,
Or-
that too. I was in his I was in school with him up till 2nd grade. So kindergarten through 2nd grade.
He
Done.
just had his parties at his house.
At least 1 year that I can remember. I was like 5 years
Oh,
old. Come
God,
on.
It was Kanye West.
Yeah.
I don't
CJ.
remember. I don't
Come on,
remember.
man.
know,
Dish.
aware at the time that this was the.
I
Kanye
remember
West.
the cake was spectacular.
It have like gold leaf on it,
I don't know.
sort of thing, or
I don't remember anything. Anyway,
did he spring for the funfetti, or did he just play
Betty.
low sheet cake?
I don't know.
You know,
Well, I doubt where he was probably 5. I doubt he was springing for anything.
no, I mean that's
Truth.
That's
Truth.
Kanye. That's CJ's good friend.
CJ's
Yeah.
good friend Kanye West.
It's true.
Confidant.
So video game birthday parties.
Showbiz.
Let's get back to it. Showbiz.
Yep.
Is that it? What about Greg? Greg, what did they have? Did you have
No,
video game
no,
themed
not
birthday
at all.
parties up in Canada?
No.
Do you have
Up
showbiz?
in Canada. Okay. This
You
needs
guys
to stop.
celebrate
This needs to
birthdays in
stop. I'm not from Canada.
What's a
I grew up in
Canadian year
Halifax.
in terms of actual time?
7
That's good.
7 months. It's confusing as hell.
It would be, yeah.
You grew up with
Leap years,
Moxie
it's-
Fruvis, right?
Yeah.
Greg had a lot of SCTV themed parties.
Eugene Levy was at every one of them.
I figured. Yeah.
Hired Count Floyd to show up and entertain the kids.
Bob and Doug McKenzie. No, because we didn't have when I don't remember. I could be wrong. I don't remember when I was a kid. We didn't have mall arcades.
Okay.
Like our arcades were more like on university campuses and things like that. So you can still go, but they
Yeah.
weren't places you go to like a Chuck E. Cheese or something, or Pizza Time Theater. Like you wouldn't go to have a party there.
No.
And
Okay.
of course, they were selling weed out the back door and all that as well. So I don't know that for sure, but it was very much like the whole. You look back at it now and how arcades had this reputation for like being dark,
Oh, yeah.
dingy, like that's what they That's how my parents saw them anyway. I don't know if that was the reputation they had around here, but like it wasn't like I remember going down to Maine and New Hampshire, the Portland Mall. We went to the Portland Mall like every summer when we went on our trip down to Maine, and like that had one of those big mall arcades that were very like open and friendly and well lit, and or like we went down to Old Orchard Beach and it had like a big outdoor arcade. So we didn't have stuff like that here. They were the smaller ones. So by the way, my office is attached to a mall here, and there's an arcade opening up in that mall.
What?
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
Like 98% redemption machines.
No, it's all classic machines.
Really?
That's great.
Dance Dance Revolution machine, classic pinball machines.
Are we
Pac-Man.
at the point where DDR is considered a classic arcade game?
Dude,
are we that old?
DDR's like 20 some odd years old.
That's true, actually.
Oh,
No, DDR, yeah,
late 90s.
You're right. Late 90s.
It is 2019, my friends.
Don't remind me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remind me.
Oh yeah, 1998.
Yep, told you, 21 years.
Oh my.
Make DDR making you feel old.
It was so funny because people at work were posting it, and I saw the DDR machine. And I was almost like, "Oh, I'm gonna go play some DDR." And like, I'm not gonna go play any DDR. Nope.
20 years later.
No. That's a heart attack on a plate.
Oh my god! I remember lots of fond memories going and playing DDR at GameWorks. It was GameWorks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great fun.
It was. I'm assuming you're gonna push on to the end of the show here.
Yes.
Before we do that, I want to call out that this Wednesday, the new episode of Generation 16 will be live.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
And I'm featured prominently in the episode too.
CJ's featured prominently in the episode.
Yeah.
Apparently he's good enough to do voiceover, but
that's right.
Mr. Golden Throat over here.
Well,
Mr. One Take CJ.
You got your SAG card and I can't afford it. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, I told you about all my saggy parts in confidence, Greg.
Anyway, it's out. It'll be out. It'll be live Wednesday.
Are you gonna tease what it is?
It's Wonder Boy 3.
Well, there you go.
Wonder Boy 3.
Oh yeah, that game that CJ won't play.
Wonder Boy 3 Monster Lair, not to be confused with Wonder Boy 3 Dragon's Trap, which, by the way, if you watch the episode, will all be explained.
There you go.
Not to be confused with just Monster Lair, right? Or wait, or is it?
God, watch the video. Just watch the video.
Monster Lair is
is so the Genesis Monster Lair is the same as the TurboGrafx Monster Lair.
Just watch the video.
No, there is no TurboGrafx Monster Lair.
What's the CD one that I'm thinking of?
You're thinking Monster World.
Am I?
Oh no, you're right. There is a TurboGrafx Monster Lair. I lied. I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah, TurboGrafx CD game.
Yep. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Lair. Okay.
Yep.
It had outstanding music.
Mm-hmm.
Say that.
Anyway, go check it out, please, and support it, and like it, and love it, and share it, and all the stuff the influencers say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Smash that like button. That's what it is.
Like and subscribe. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You will find blog entries about Sega CD at some point from Mr. Greg Seward.
Probably this week.
Maybe so. And you will also find Generation 16 episodes as they are released.
Definitely this week.
Nice.
That's a definite yes. And you'll also find show notes and links to the things that we talked about during this episode. And why wouldn't you want to do that? Also, there's a link to our Discord server where you can discuss video games or television shows or Battle Royale games or this very episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading Apple's podcast application. You can also visit the Apple App Store and invest $1.99
cheap
to pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. which gives you one-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, and the what have yous. You also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey! Android cell phone telephone users. Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
Find that right over there on the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. We are on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch archives of our show or check us out live most weeks on the youtube.com/P1 Podcast. Follow our Twitter account, friends, to find out when we will be broadcasting live, because sometimes we mix it up a bit.
Usually Sunday nights.
Usually Sunday night.
Eastern.
Sometimes CJ's got to go to San Francisco.
Sometimes, and then the week after, I gotta going on vacation. So,
oh man, life's just a mile a minute, isn't it? Going on vacation.
Yeah.
Where's your vacation? Where are you going on vacation?
We're going to Florida.
Oh, so just like just short trip.
Yeah, short trip. Yeah,
proximity wise, you are very close to Florida.
That's correct.
Are you going to Disney World?
Nope.
Studios? Nope.
CJ hates fun. They're going to a casino.
Going to the beach.
To the beach.
Okay.
Yep. Sun, surf, and some killer waves.
That's right. I'm all about those bodacious waves. That's right. I just used the word bodacious.
Gang 10, brah. I need to shoot the curl. I dare say, my gentle beach bums.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, hey, and if you like what you've heard, you can head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ's got to buy some popsicles on the beach for his kid.
That's right. Clearly. Yeah.
Sandy Popsicles.
Yeah. That was my stripper name back when I was doing that.
Sandy Popsicle?
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been Sandy Creamsicle, but
well.
Depends on what stage of the act we're at. So please look forward to that. Hey, if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to a generation-16.com where you will find the Patreon link to help support Greg Stewart's outstanding and soon to be updated web series, North America's favorite second banana, the Sega Genesis.
Thanks, Phil.
Although, let's face it, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, Patreon, this new episode of yours, Patreon supporters have already seen it. Is that right?
$3 plus supporters.
$3 if you
the second tier and higher.
Okay. Look at that. See? Yep. You could have been watching that show already.
Yep. That's right.
Mere $3. Hey, and those at the $5 or higher tier on the Player One Patreon get access to a weekly after show.
That's right.
Games for Quack Wise.
Sure.
And we also crack Rise as well. So tune into that, friendos. DJ.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
Yo.
Thank you so much too.
Thank you, Phil.
And of course, a big old spanky thank to our friends at home, listening, loving, and smashing that like and subscribe button. I guess we'll see you next week.
That we will.
Bye-bye.
Later.